It's Monday. People are in isolation. They're bored. I thought I'd bring you my kitty. I thought I'd bring you my kitty to cheer you up. Oh, wow. How wow. Oh, yeah, by the way, cat equals like. Those are the rules, I'm afraid. Oh. I love you. I love you. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Our favourite director, Cathy Yan, is back to play victim once again. Because that's all these people of privilege do. Play victim when things don't go narratively the way they want it to. And I pulled up a bunch of articles here because they're all pretty hilarious. And one of them is so bad that I just have to tear it to shreds because I love to play with my food. I love playing with my food at times, and today is one of those days where I think you guys deserve to see me play with my food. Right, so Birds of Prey director has a great idea for a sequel. Do you know what her great idea is? Now, some of you might already have your hands in the air, say, "Az, I have a question." Okay, I will field your questions. You, madam, over there. Why would she get a sequel when her film was a complete flop? That is a very good question. Hollywood. That's the answer to your question. Hollywood. She hasn't been granted a sequel. Don't panic. She's pitching. She's pitching for her sequel. And her sequel idea is that I would like to see Poison Ivy in the sequel in a relationship with Harley Quinn. Oh, you mean what everybody's thought the film should be from the start? You mean that idea? That the idea that people for ages have been saying, why did they do this film? Why didn't they just make a Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy movie? It would have been much better. It would have flowed into the Batman animated series a lot more. Instead of this ensemble cast which got barely any time whatsoever because this was just an ego vehicle for Margot Robbie and Cathy Yan. So great, my idea is your idea. Fuck that article, next one. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. I think we've got this article up twice for some reason. Oh yeah, I've got another beautiful quote later on. In a wide-ranging interview, the director delves into the Ewan McGregor moment she felt was crucial. It was risky. And the aftermath of the opening weekend on the female-led film. What I was most disappointed in was this idea that perhaps it proved that we weren't ready for this yet. Because, Cathy, you weren't! You weren't even remotely ready or qualified to take on this role. You had some indie movies and then you were granted a $90 million odd budget to make a superhero film. You were complete and utterly out of your depth. But let's just go on to the risky scene. What was the risky scene? The risky scene is when Ewan McGregor attacked the girl in the club, made her get up on the table and dance, and then tore her dress off while she was dancing. It was so risky. We needed to have that in the film. Now, I thought to myself, I've heard this somewhere before. I've heard this narrative of a director having to fight to have a scene kept in their movie. Remember when Patty Jenkins said, I had to fight to have that No Man's Land scene in Wonder Woman? And I think the No Man's Land scene in Wonder Woman is the best scene in the film. So I'm very glad that Patty Jenkins fought for it, because to me, Absolutely beautiful, beautiful scene. So yes, oh look, Kathy Ann's copying. You're copying the homework again, Kathy. Copying the homework. Copying the homework again. Stop copying people's homework, Kathy. It's as if you don't have any talent of your own. Whereas somebody, an Oscar winner like Patty Jenkins, does. And they are a proven director. And maybe that's why Wonder Woman's did a whole lot better than your film. But Patty Jenkins is white. And then this article. This is the article, folks, because this article is garbage. Sarah, I would, if I were you, leave before you're fired, probably. And I would get that application in for your local fast food store as soon as possible. And kiss some ass, because you are not in any way, shape or form qualified for that role, probably. This is the most pathetic article I have seen. The most apologetic piece of crap I've read in a long time. And this is Cinema Blend. This is Cinema Blend. And this person is going to purposely lie. I would say disingenuous if I was feeling genuous. But no, you're just out and out lying to push a narrative here. And so you get played with. So, Birds of Prey director was not happy the movie was called a flop so early. It was called a flop because it was a flop! Glad we got that established. When Birds of Prey opened below expectations in its first weekend, the comic book flick starring Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn was already being called a flop. Maybe because the opening weekend was slated to take $55 million. It took $33 million. It had a budget of ranging somewhere between $85 and $92 million. And it took about 4 weeks to reach even that. The international box office was significantly down also on what was expected. So yes, it kind of adds up to a flop. In comparison to the rest of the DCEU slate, it does sit at the bottom in box office earnings. That's because it's a flop. Are you understanding this yet? It's a flop. However, that's not without looking at the bigger picture. Playtime! Let's start playing with our food. Please, Sarah, pray tell. Let's look at the bigger picture, shall we? Birds of Prey 2 made 2.4 times its budget back. Wrong! Wrong. And you know it's wrong, you liar. It had a budget of around about 90 odd million. It fluctuates. Some websites have it at 90 for 85, some have it at 92, some have whatever. Let's just say approximately 90 million. That's the budget for the movie alone. Doesn't take into consideration marketing or anything like that whatsoever. Cinema takes, etc., etc. So, the normal rule of thumb is to approximately double it. Approximately double it. So even if we doubled it, it would get somewhere in the region of around 180 odd million. It's taken 200 million worldwide. It might, but likely isn't, because of there were reshoots and other things like that as well. So we don't even know if they've even considered those or put those into the budget options, because they are sneaky like that as well, because they didn't do it when they did it with Solo. So the likelihood is we're adding on another few tens of million on top of that, probably 20, 30 million. So the chances that Birds of Prey is even in the black are slim. Very, very slim that it's even in the black. Never mind, made 2.5 times its budget back. Shut up, Sarah. Jesus Christ. And while it didn't pull the monumental numbers of Joker or Avengers Endgame, flop or failure are two stronger words. What was the budget on Joker? $55 million. Around 60% of the budget of Birds of Prey. How much did Joker take at the box office? Nearly $1.1 billion. Birds of Prey is a flop. A colossal, massive flop. But Sarah isn't finished yet. She's ready to double down and triple down, folks. Plus, the director behind Birds of Prey, Cathy Ann, only had made one small indie film prior to bringing Harley Quinn and her femme fatales to the big screen. Wait, another one of your excuses is Cathy Ann was massively underqualified. I'll agree with you there. Oh yes, she was indeed massively underqualified. And that's an excuse that they want to use. I'm shocked. Birds of Prey also rated R. So did Joker. So did Deadpool. Not an excuse. Stop it. Stop it. Ay. Don't compare it to Wonder Woman. Compare it to other R-rated films. Joker, 1.1-ish billion. Deadpool, around 780 million. Birds of Prey, 200 million. Just 200 million. Oopsie doopsies. Sorry, dropped my pen. I know that the studio had really high expectations for the movie, as we all did. But there were undue expectations on the female-led movie. Sorry, there were undue. Undue? Do you mean undue? D-U-E. Undue expectations. U-N-D-U-E. Not undue Jesus Christ. And what I was most disappointed in was this idea that perhaps it proved we weren't ready for this yet. You weren't ready for it yet. This is the beaut, folks. That was an extra burden that as a woman of colour director, I already had on me anyway. Cathy, I've got a question, Cathy. Cathy, I've got a question. Cathy, I've got a question. What does your skin colour have to do with your talent? Sorry, Cathy, I can't hear your reply. What on earth does your skin colour have to do with your personal talent? I'm getting a lot of people around you saying none, but I can't hear you, Cathy. It's as if you are being purposely manipulative. Skin colour has no bearing on talent. To say that shows exactly what a piece of shit you are. That just shows exactly the victim game that you people love to play. And when I say you people, I mean privileged people in Hollywood that think because they are given all of these things, they should just automatically succeed. And trust me, she was handed this on a platter. Because Margot Robbie's vanity project was, I want women to do everything, but the one thing that you didn't do, Margot, was write a good film! That was the one thing that you didn't do. You didn't get a good writer to write a good film. You just thought you could fill everything up with whammons and go, aren't we amazeballs? By the way, men, we hate you, but please come see our movie and spend your money. But we hate you. But please give us your cash. We really need your cash. Oh, you didn't come and watch our film. Hold on. Oh, more men came to see it than women. I'm a woman of colour. People are sick of this. Men and women are sick of this. They're sick of being used as trophies. Women, they're sick of being used as playthings in Hollywood, as if they are secondary. I achieved this in spite of being a woman. I couldn't do this because I am a woman and Hollywood wouldn't let me. People can see through this like tissue paper. Wet tissue paper. It's so obvious. But when you can't take responsibility for your own failings, you just immediately play, I'd like to play the victim card, please. I'd like to play the victim card. This is my victim card. I would like to play it. Thank you. Pathetic. Pathetic. So yes, I think there were certainly different ways you could interpret the success or lack of success of the movie. A good way is the box office, and the box office said it was a flop. The box office said it was a massive flop. Is it because you're women? No. Plenty of female-led movies have done very well. And in recent history, most recent history, of course, Wonder Woman. And everyone has a right to do that. But I definitely do feel that everyone was pretty quick to jump on a certain angle. The certain angle that people jumped on was your marketing was full of disgusting misandry. This is the film about smashing the patriarchy. This is a film about toxic masculinity. This is a film about misogyny. And all your marketing did was drip and drip misandry. Because people, when they go to the cinema, they want to be entertained. They don't want to listen to some privileged cow who's handed something that she doesn't deserve, complaining about something. I'm a woman of privilege. I've been given a huge budget to make the film of some people's dreams. Had to get a man in to do the fight scenes because mine were terrible. I got a terrible script writer in who produced a piece of shit. And then we just virtue signaled all day long and the film was a flop. Not my fault. DSP it. Not my fault. I'm a woman of colour. I had everything against me. I have a vagina and I'm a woman of colour. Everything was against me. Unbelievable. Apart from the one thing that you really should have looked at, yourself. Yourself. I've gone on way longer than I expected to go on, folks, so I just want to bring this up. Last thing. What was definitely beyond expectations was some of the positive stuff. Please, let's hear the positive stuff. Such as the real global reach of the film. What, like every film? Never mind. And getting really wonderful notes. Scribbled notes. From people around the world who felt they were seen for the first time in a movie like this. Oh my God. They are crazy. They are literally crazy. These people, folks, are the racists and the bigots. These people here. Because they can't see past race, colour, gender, sexuality. These are the true ists and isms and phobes right here. I'll just finish with giving my take on Birds of Prey. I thought it was a terrible film. I thought it was an absolutely terrible film. Maybe I thought it was worse because I'm a DC person. And so I know these characters. And they were nothing like the characters that they are in the DC comics at all. So maybe that also affected my fun element of it. But when I see people like Cassandra Cain just put on the screen because she's Asian, that's it. That's racist. And they know it's racist. They played the race card there, but they don't care. Because it's just like, oh my God, we put a representation in the filmsies. Aren't we amazeballs? Can we have all your monies? When you see Huntress just reduced to some bin liner wearing bint. Black Canary, she's black. Do you get it? Do you get it? She's... Montoya. I thought it was a decent-ish performance by Rosie Perez, was it? But that wasn't the Montoya from the comics. Not at all. And then Margot Robbie hamming it up as Harley Quinn. You might like it, you might not like it, but I think it exposed the limitations of the character. Big time. But yeah, 45 minutes into the film, I could have easily just walked out. It was so boring for the most part. Just boring. Not particularly woke at all, just boring. Right, yes, folks, Hollywood. You got to be a professional victim to succeed. And if you fail, then you've got to play the victim cards and hope that you get a sequel for your trouble. Kathy Yan is proving to be a pathetic human being. And Sarah, this article is a disgrace. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. I need to change that because my live streaming is now on YouTube, but there you go. You take care. Bye for now.